Assalamualaikum. Is this Mr. Haikal?
Waalaikumsalam. Yes, I am Haikal, who called your firm yesterday. Are you in charge with my case?
Oh yes, I'm HAZIQ. I will be in charge for your case and I'll be assisted with my two junior associates, Miss FARAHANIS and Miss AMIRAH.
Hi, Mr. Haikal. Hello, Miss Ain. My name is FARAHANIS and I'll be assisting Mr. Haziq for today's consultation.
Hello everyone, I am AMIRAH and I will also assist Mr. Haziq and Ms. Haranis for today.
Nice to meet you guys. So before we continue, introduce myself. I am Haikal, the director of Wangian Harum Sdn Bhd. And together with me, my secretary, Miss Ain, and she will assist you guys if there are any inquiries regarding our company's problem.
So how are you today, Mr. Haikal and Miss Ain?
Alhamdulillah. Feeling good as always. But when thinking about my company, feel so stressed. So I hope you guys can help me in solving the problem.
Mr. Haikal, I think you don't need to worry too much and don't be stressed because we are here to assist to solve your problem. So all things can be settled, so don't worry too much.
Yes, Mr. Haikal, we will try our best to help you. But before we start, I would like to introduce or brief how our consultation will be conducted. Firstly, I would like to know, is this your first time consulted with lawyers?
Yeah. This is my first time encountering this issue. So do I need to know any procedures or charges for today's consultation?
Okay, alright, Mr. Haikal. So for our legal consultation, we will charge around 500 ringgit per session. And we are in the duty to always keep our clients' confidential information. And also our conversation today will be kept between us and we will use it for our further action. And also for your information, every session will take around 2 to 15 minutes of your time. And are you okay with it?
Actually,
Expensive, boss. Too
yeah.
expensive.
Yes, but it's okay. Just proceed. Okay, Haziq, we agreed with the charge, so you may continue.
Okay, now we shall proceed to our main agenda today. So I would like to know what is the problem related to the company, Mr. Haikal, because based on my conversation previously with you, there are some problems that are related to the company's money and the company being insolvent. Can you clarify to us about that?
Ain?
All right, boss. So basically, Mr. Lawyer, right now, we are in a very tight and denial condition. And we think that the very last option that we can use is winding up. But in the same time, we also have a lot of creditors lining up in front of our office as we have failed to settle down their debt. But it's not that we are scammers, something like that, but it's just our company having financial problem. It's not, and our company not doing really well lately.
So you said this happened month already, yeah? Right. So could you explain more what happened between that period?
Boss?
First of all, as the director, I am doing my best to rectify the company's condition. But after several occasions, we are almost to the dead end. And to answer your question, we did earn some money, but only enough to pay off some of our liabilities, but still cannot cover up all of our liabilities.
Yes, I agree with what had my boss said just now. Our company already tried everything to minimize our expenses. This include my salary also being cut off from 20K to 10K only. And same goes to the other employee bonus and the other unnecessary costs. But we still cannot have enough fund to pay everything off. So our questions to you, Mr. Lawyer. Do we have any other resorts aside from winding up? We truly want to try to salvage this situation.
Yes, I can see that your company is in very difficult situation. But do you mind tell us what caused the company fund to be decreased from usual?
Easy. Our sale has been decreasing and we cannot rolling the profit to maintain the business. So sad.
Mr. Haikal, may I know what
Mhm.
type of company you run, either private limited or public, and how long your company has been incorporated?
Wangian Harum Sendirian Berhad is a private limited company, and it has been 10 years actually. And my belated father funded this company, and I'm the sole company director.
Could you please tell me briefly about your career development, Miss Ain and Miss Haikal?
I've become the sole director of this company since it has been incorporated last 10 years. However, several of our shares have been owned by our several employees, but still I remain as the major of the shareholder.
And for me, I've been the secretary for this company since the company has been incorporated, and during that time we have a good time. My salary from 2Ks until now 20Ks. I've seen all ups and downs of the company, but this is the lowest point of the company, yeah.
So does your company own any assets?
I believe we have several cars,
Mhm.
like Myvi and Kedari only. And not to forget, we also have buildings in Damansara and also Gongbada in Terengganu. Any other assets that I have yet mentioned, boss?
I think you forgot to mention that we also own several pieces of land in Kedah and Selangor. I think that's all the assets for our company.
I see. So, your company, is the company still able to pay the salaries for all the employees?
Yeah, I think the company still be able to pay the salary as I just received my payment for this part. So I believe the company still prioritize their employee first before paying off the debts.
But still we could not bear if for so long as we are at the lowest point now. So we may be still able to pay them for now, but if the company continues like this, I afraid we will not be able to pay them.
Okay. Mr. Haikal, I would like to ask, during your time being the directors for these 10 years, can you recall how many charges have been made, with or without security?
Boss, can I answer this
Yeah.
question? I think you don't really know, right? Huh. So basically we did, I think, 5 secured charges to our book debt and buildings in Damansara and also Gombada. Our lands and also our lands to 5 different banks respectively. Right, boss?
Also for the notes, we do not have any agreement with those creditors. Something like if we cannot settle our debt, but the creditors still can charge us through our personal properties.
Yeah, I see, Mr. Haikal and Miss Ain. So, if I may ask, what is your major concern about this issue today?
Miss Lawyer, Miss Lawyer, Miss Lawyer. It's obvious. We do not want the company to be winding up. If there are any other solution that we can use for, yes, give us the solution.
Exactly. As per what my secretary says, assist us so that my company can still operate.
Okay, Miss Ain and Mr. Haikal. So, if you don't mind, if I ask, did the company have any ongoing civil or criminal suit?
It is shame to say, but we have one from M Bank. They are furious and enraged because we are ignoring their warning payment for about 3 months. It's only 3 months. They are trying to get an order from the court to compel us to pay their money.
So what I can summarize is that WH Berhad is a private limited company that has been established for 10 years, right? And this
Yes.
company started to face financial problems, and due to that, the company now is unable to pay the debt, especially to the creditors. So right now, as you don't want the company to wind up, you are searching for what are the other available options to save the company, right?
Yes,
So,
exactly.
Miss Amira,
Okay, thank you, Mr. Haziq. So, Mr. Haikal and Ms. Ain. So, as has been explained by Mr. Haziq just now, we have analyzed the problem presented to us today. So, I shall briefly explain what are the options available under the law. So, we have corporate rescue. So, in simple terms, corporate rescue is a mechanism where the company can choose in order to release their company from any financial distress, which is the debt owed, based on various options. So under this mechanism, we have three options, which is the judicial management, corporate voluntary arrangement, and also scheme arrangement. And we shall briefly explain each of these options, what they mean, how it works, and what are the consequences to your company.
Okay, Mr. Haikal and Ms. Ain, in regard with the first option, I think I would like to suggest this company to go with the option of having judicial management to manage all the affairs, business, and assets under your distressed company. This is because your company is eligible to be handled under judicial management as prescribed under the Companies Act, since your company is facing such situation of unable to pay off some liabilities. Therefore, you can apply to the court to appoint a judicial manager who could help with your company by coming up with a restructuring proposal that might be solutions in settling with your financial problems. If the proposal is approved by the court, then the judicial manager will have 6 months to prepare and implement with the proposal to your company, which give more times for your company to have the best solutions and recovery. I am sure that judicial manager is trusted because usually court will appoint insolvency practitioner to be your judicial manager, and they are expert in handling with any conflicts or financial problems faced by the company. Don't worry, Mr. Haikal and Ms. Ain, for the application to the court, all the filings will be handled by us with care.
Yes, it seems like our senior lawyer had highly suggested to choose judicial management, but we are here obligated to expose for other options. So other than that, we have corporate voluntary arrangement that we shall refer now as CVA. And this CVA is an arrangement between your company and the creditors with very limited court intervention. What can you get from this CVA is you can pay a proportion from the debt you owe to the creditors, according to the agreement lah between you and the creditors. And through the CVA, it will be conducted or supervised by nominee, which is also an insolvency practitioner. And most importantly, your company will still continue the business as usual.
All right, Ms. Farahani, so I will proceed to the last option we have, which is the scheme arrangement. So this method is actually governed by our Companies Act. So as for the scheme arrangement, the company are allowed to restructure a scheme by applying to the court. So this scheme will discuss what are the plans of the company for the payment of the debt. So a scheme meeting will be commenced, which consists of the creditors and even the members. So during the formulation of the scheme, your company is allowed to apply a restraining order in order to restrain the creditors from initiating any actions against the company. And in the meantime, the company will structure a scheme where all the creditors and members shall agree through voting. So approval from the court are required for this particular scheme to be commenced. Nonetheless, based on the problem that has been brought to us today, that has been faced by your company, we are more inclined to advise you to take the options of corporate rescue, either by way of the CVA or judicial management.
I see. So we do have many options to save us. Good.
I almost cry when I hear this solution, as I believe this is one of the miraculous things that happened in my life, and finally I managed to secure my 20K.
Yes.
Yes,
Alhamdulillah.
I am so glad to hear that from you guys. And to add on this particular matter, I think this information will convince you more to choose judicial management instead of other choices. For information, this method gives automatic moratorium period, which takes into 60 days after the application and can be extended to 6 months, which is longer period than CVA. Therefore, judicial management could give more time for your company to recover and back to the original conditions. And as I mentioned before, it will be conducted by judicial manager.
Yes, absolutely true. I just want to let both of you to know that under these judicial management options, once this application got approval from the court, the judicial manager will take over the company of the time being. But don't worry, he is acting for the best interest of the parties, and if there's something fishy, he will be disqualified. Do you mind about that?
I think I have no choice. That would be okay as long as my company is safe and continue its operation.
All
Good
right.
choice.
So Mr. Haikal and Miss Ain. So to add why judicial management is more preferable than the CVA is that for your company, since your company has made a secured charge in one of the debentures, so therefore this actually precludes your company from choosing CVA.
Any more inquiries of information you want to add that might detriment to the problem, Mr. Mr. Haikal?
Mr. Lawyer, I have one last question.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
I? Is it guaranteed that if we apply this JM just now, JM, right? If we apply JM to the court, it will grant to us automatically, or is there any risk that the court will play games here and that and reject our application for this JM? Because I'm afraid I might be happy too quickly before all this can be solved.
Oh, about that, Miss Ain, don't worry, okay? Because they do have certain requirements that we need to fulfill for the application to be successful. But you can put your trust in us. Don't worry.
So I believe we have decided to choose JM as a method to help your company. So fret not, because we shall do our best to ensure that Wang Yan Harum Syndrome Berhad won't face the wound up process and able to pay all the debts you have owed.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. I think I've made a wise decision to appoint you guys as my lawyer. Thank you, Miss Ain.
Miss Lawyer, Miss Lawyer and
Oh,
Mr.
Miss
Lawyer.
Lawyer. Oh, all right. Okay, sorry.
Thank
Thank you,
you so
everyone.
much.
So I think
Yeah.
that's all. Your suggestion is the best for my company to be released from its financial distress. And since we have already decided the solution for the problem, Ain and I have to rush to another meeting. So see you guys soon. Anything, please contact my secretary. Okay.
Yeah, I believe that's all, sir. I shall inform you if there is anything that we need for documentation purpose. Have a nice day and thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Lawyer.
Yeah,
Have a
welcome.
nice day. That's quite a discussion, right? But I think that was a common issue, because in that case, we will always advise our client to resort to CVA. But considering the director position, he failed to maintain the company's fund, and judicial manager can do a better job. After all, the root problem comes from the director himself.
Yes, Farahanis, I have the same thought because the director in this case might lose his power for a while, but I think it is for the betterment of our client's company.
Yes, true. Amira, I think CVA seems hard to get approved because the creditors already taken action, right? Looking at the situation, the creditor would not give consent when the proposal is presented.
Yes, totally unlike CVA. JM binds all the creditors after the court order, while CVA only gives headache to them and us.
Yeah, I'll also alert with the recent decision in re-diocese, which highlights the threshold of JM, where the judicial manager is a person free from personal interests that required him to act in bona fide, giving full and frank disclosure about the proposal of restructuring the debt, and most importantly, he will act neutrally.
Yes, despite that, it requires a higher cost of conducting the judicial management as it involves the court procedures and documentation. But I still think it is the best way for them compared to the CVA because as we've seen earlier that the director thought it was the dead end. And to add, with the application of the judicial management, the director would rely to the judicial manager and which has been appointed by the court. So therefore, there shall be no issue for both the director and also the company as they will only need to abide by their procedures and also their proper documentation, which will be instructed by the appointed judicial manager for the best interest of the company.
Yes, I agree with both of you. I concur. That's all I think, and I'm already hungry right now. Let's grab some lunch.
Let's
Good job,
grab some
everyone.
lunch. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.